And here we are, week number 6, game 1 of the Skypillar circuit. It's been a while. It has been 2 weeks. We did not have a match last week due to the fact that I, Cupid, the one who runs these, was out of town. I was not home, so, we had to take a week off. What has changed since the last week? Well, now there is a Ceruledge that is legal, and we're going to see if Ceruledge ends up being relevant at all. Ceruledge is out in Unite. It came out between last week of the SPC and this week. And yeah, we're looking very, very good. So at the start here, we have T-Tar banned. We have Trevenant banned. Okay, very good. Those are the 2 highest win rate Pokemon, I think, right now. Or maybe highest pick rate, I'm not entirely sure. But I did see some statistics involving those. And then on the other side, we have banned Leafeon and Zoroark, trying to keep security off of Zoroark. Very fair. So, the picks, we have Eli picking Hoopa immediately. Hoopa is very powerful. I do think Hoopa may even be the best support when piloted properly. On the other side, we have Dripmayo on the Blaziken, Sceptile picking Slowbro, which is interesting. And Killer is going to get Mamoswine, his one trick. Ray on Espeon, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I do think Ray's Espeon is probably solid, and I don't know if they've been doing team practice or anything, but I am sure that Ray's Espeon is probably going to perform pretty well. We have Native Weave picking Blastoise, which makes perfect sense, and we have Frank the Wolf picking Clefable. Frank the Wolf, notorious for being a very good support player. Juvenile picks Azumarill, which is interesting. I don't know how much Azumarill Juvenile has been playing. And Security is going to be picking that all-powerful Dodrio that everyone knows and has targeted ban for the longest of times. But recently, they started just letting Security play Dodrio, and I think that that's not even really that bad of a play. The Dodrio hasn't really performed that well in this tournament. So maybe they can get away with this. And finally, by the way, Ace will be picking Phalanx. There's not very many counters to Phalanx on the other team, at least as far as I'm concerned. I think maybe Whirlpool Azu can do pretty well. I think maybe Psyshock Espeon does good. And Mamoswine does well. But I can't really say any of that for certain. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see if I'm right or wrong as we go into game 1 here. Okay, so how do I feel about the draft? I do think that the bottom team probably has a little bit scarier of a team. I do think Blaziken Phalanx is a lot of damage for 2 all-arounders to be putting out. And I don't think that they have to worry too much about any issues. The defenders are also very, very good. And, of course, Clefable, known for putting out way more healing than I feel like it needs to. And here we go. We have gotten ourselves loaded in. Alright, so here we go. Game number 1. What can we expect to see this one? Well, in the jungle, we are going to obviously have Dodrio, giving us 3 times the head. And Phalanx on the other side. Interesting. I don't know how frequently Phalanx goes into the jungle, but it's definitely a pick. So here we're going to stay a little passive. We're going to fight for, those Bunnelbees there. And as a result, we are actually going to end up losing this Baltoy in the center. And Ray and Antkiller are going in for stacks, as Torchic also went in for stacks. And Torchic's going to get off 2 of them, it looks like. And Antkiller's going to get another one himself. Very good. Alright. And now we should be coming up on our jungler rotations. Here comes Security heading to the top. Phalanx is also heading to the top, it would seem. And Security is coming in hot. And that's a KO. And that's immediately, forcing Sceptile to X-Speed to get out of there to grab that berry. So we just don't perish. But luckily, Phalanx is here, providing support and making sure it's not Jover for the team. Luckily, Dodrio has decided to stay and tax the lane a little bit by, taking away some of that good old Altaria experience as the blue team wins that Altaria entirely. Alright, now we have a rotation to bot lane from the Dodrio. Dodrio is going in and swinging on them, and the bot lane is already being pretty forced back for sure, as, you know, the Hoopa and the Azumarill are just slapping up the Squirtle and also the Clefairy. They gotta be careful of that. Alright, so we have a double jungle push coming in. Drip Mayo going in, trying to steal Security's jungle buffs. Sceptile also appears to have gone in, but this is actually going to go quite poorly as they were ready for that. We have a rotation down from the top lane, and I think Security would have probably won that 2v1 anyway. Alright, so now what? Well, it looks like the orange team has decided to rotate bot. What are we looking for here? I assume we're looking for that first Reggie. I think we're looking for that first Reggie. But we're having issues here. The whole team, whole squad's getting torn up, right? You know, this Dodrio is here, he's jump kicking everybody. But we do have some attacks coming out from Ace Tech. We got some healing coming out from the Clefable. And Dodrio is going to take a lot of damage from that. And this is another hit for a lot of damage. But, I mean, Moonlight keeping everyone alive. And we got 15 seconds to this objective. Phalanx goes down. Dodrio is now jumping around. I mean, hey, look at this. Dodrio going in now. And yeah, I mean, the orange team pushed a little too hard. Dodrio held them off, and, well, they all ended up fainting. Except for, you know, the two that rightfully got out of there. Now, Regice has spawned, and Dodrio is attacking the Regice. And also Hoopa is attacking the Regice. They're going to get that Regice, and things are already looking like they're going pretty sour for the orange team. You don't really want to be down a Regice, especially when on the top you actually had Espeon there the whole time, just getting the quick solo of the Regieleki, and we missed that fight, but that's okay because you know, there's a lot of combat going on down here, and they're just trying to deal with security. It looks like they're trying to say, hey, look, maybe we need to stop security from, like, you know, killing our whole team again. Maybe we should do that. So we have Gravity coming out from the Clefable, and we also have a Telekinesis from the Slowbro, picking up Security. Security is going to actually end up fainting this time. Hoopa tries to save it with the berry, but tragically we're not going to be able to get that off. And Blaziken's going in and spinning and doing all sorts of attacks. Alright. I mean, they're still just going at it down here. This is a very, very long fight. Slowbro comes down with the skull. We're picking up the Azumarill, and we're going to get a KO on the Azumarill. And now that's just a Hoopa. And this is a lot of scores. They're going to probably break this bottom goal here. Native does not actually end up scoring. Dodrio has come down, but it's going to faint very quickly, because that's 5 Pokemon in the bot lane. Here comes Mamoswine, probably going to unleash the Unite, but it looks like Phalanx decided to unleash the Unite as well, and that's a lot of damage. And that's the Unite coming out from the Espeon too, and oh my goodness, all of those Unites all at once. And this is a very tight battle, as you can see by the score, 135 to 130. And they're actually going to be able to clean up the rest of the team there. And they could go for the big dunker, and they're gonna score 46 in the bottom, take the lead, and Phalanx with the KO streak of 5 is nuts. Alright, but up top we have the Regieleki. Down in the bottom we can see very clearly that the orange team is killing this Regice. And they're saying, hey, look, we have a Phalanx. The Phalanx is level 12, so we can just, you know, like, you know, sort of ride him to victory, right? And we're also going to have a KO on this Regieleki. The blue team has not given up yet, due to the fact that, you know, they have team-wide more experience. They have more team-wide experience. So, like, they really don't need to, like, worry too much, because they just have to work together. If they can all work together, take out the Phalanx, the rest of the team should fall relatively easy. They're very... well, not very squishy, but they're a lot squishier than, you know, the Phalanx is. And Killer, unfortunately, going to be fighting a 1v3 against the Phalanx, a Blaziken, and a Slowbro, resulting in a KO. And Ray is going to dash out of there and, with the stored power, get off some damage and nearly faints to the Blaziken overheat. But luckily for us, we did not. And now here comes a Unite from the Blastoise, a little bit early, I would say, as the rest of the team is now coming in. And here we go. We've got a team fight. You got some space being represented, and this is still a very close game. This is a very close game. Look at this. All right. Okay, big Unite coming out for Mamoswine. He's jumping around. He's picking him up and slamming, and he's jumping around. And Juvenile is going to take a lot of damage, but he thought he fainted, but he just didn't there. And Phalanx is going to fight everyone off. Everyone's going to just leave the Phalanx to his devices. And honestly, I can't even say I blame them. I would do the same in this situation. Orange team with a slight lead in points, 21 points ahead. And that all-important objective, Rayquaza, is spawning in 34 seconds. Alright, Hoopa Unite coming out a little early, I would say. We're trying to take out this Phalanx. We do take out the Phalanx. That's actually massive for them. Alright, now what? We gotta deal with this Blaziken. The Blaziken's level 13. We gotta deal with him. Well, we're fighting Native instead. Native's gonna surf everybody and push him. And now we're gonna slam him on the ground like a guy who gets slammed on the ground. And we get this last second Regirock, getting those buffs off. And it is time for Snowball to spawn. Here it is. Here is Snowball, the Rayquaza. That is what we decided to name Rayquaza here. Snowball. How are we going to deal with this Rayquaza fight? I mean, you gotta be careful. Obviously, you don't want to extend into their team. And, you know, you gotta make sure their team isn't where you are. Because, you know, that means you're just dead. Alright, Slowbro is going in. Slowbro has decided I'm going in. We have run down Security's Dodrio, hit it with Slow Beam, Phalanx chases, whole squad moving as a single unit, big Unite coming out from the Espeon, hits all Pokemons. Now what? I mean, how are we going to deal with this? They're all moving as a unit. They're moving. They're in sync. Okay, but hold on. Drip Mayo getting a little low. We could potentially be trying to fight this off. Ant Killer has decided to run. He's decided to run away. The team is coming back now. That is honestly fair, and it's huge that he survived. Alright, Phalanx Unite coming out, Hoopa Unite coming out as well, portaling everyone there. And now what? How are we dealing with this? I mean, Phalanx is leading the charge clearly, but the rest of the team's down here fighting. And Slowbro went to score 86, and Phalanx picks up 2 KOs, 3 KOs now. Blastoise KOs the Mamoswine. Whole purple team has fainted except for Security. Security is here trying to prevent any scoring on this goal. Will Security pull it off? I mean, probably. But the top goal is open. And tragically, without Rayquaza, eventually, you know, they're going to just get off the points. Your whole team is fainting. And, I mean, this is looking like a Rayquaza score without the Rayquaza. Look at that. And the team's going to get off all these points, and due to the team-wide wipe, Rayquaza never faints. And, I mean, we did what we could, but tragically, you know, it just wasn't quite enough in the end there. As Game 1 is going to end up going to Team Tyrannical Eevees. Tyrannical Eevees gets Game 1.